Shalom, shalom, all praise to Yahweh Shemel Shah, Devon is an apostle of the great Millstone. Today will be a topic involving the great Millstone family. These brothers in particularly are just so out of this world when it comes to knowledge. Recently I have been just taking a big step back. I have been taking a big step back to just actually understand the scriptures the correct way. When I first came into the truth, I was one of these brothers that would basically just, strictly focusing on the slavery, the book of Deuteronomy, basically the basics, and not actually understanding the actual Bible. Whenever I was writing scriptures down, it was really nothing wrong with that because I was still getting wisdom and knowledge, but I still didn't have the basic fundamental understanding of, for example, the book of Genesis, the wisdom of Solomon. I was basically just reading it from a just plain text perspective. But then whenever I was doing a little bit more research on actual certain chapters, the Lord had just guided me with this YouTube channel called Breaking Strongholds 1. And this channel in particularly is a blessing channel because it has a lot of breakdowns from the Apostle Tahar, Gabar, and also the other apostle, I hope you please forgive me, the dark-skinned elder with a gray beard that does a lot of walking talks. I also watched GMS South Carolina for a long time too, because that's where I'm from, GMS Murder Beach, South Carolina. And I just wanted to basically go back to the fundamentals understanding, of some of the mysteries of the prophecies that many Israelite groups don't know how to break down. And the elder from GMS South Carolina has helped me a lot because I stumbled upon this channel about 2 years ago, and he touched a lot of great topics involving this modern world perspective, especially when it comes to TikTok, social media, etc. He has it all, and this is just goes to say that the brothers at GMS are 100% from Yahweh Shemel Shah. The spirit that is put on them are unexplainably and extraordinarily represents a lion from the tribe of Judah. It roars. It makes the earth shakes, and it gets underneath a lot of Christian skins, in particularly. And for you to actually understand this truth from begin with, you have to have some type of predestination agreements with your spirit, and whatever life that we had in the past, we're still doing it now in this present future. I believe that's in the book of Malachi, the first chapter. Predestination is one heck of a statement. But yeah, I just wanted to say that the brothers from GMS are definitely making its ways, not only just around the world, but in particular to Hebrew Israelites that were, I would say, searching to learn more. This group in particularly describes wisdom. A lot of brothers don't like GMS in particularly because they can't beat them one-on-one, particularly when it comes to scripture to scripture, battle to battle, mystery to unhold. It's amazing. And it's also amazing how you have people like Vocab Cologne. That's what the elder apostle would call him. And also Nate, which these videos have been released about 8 years ago, and I'm pretty sure it's been about a decade or more since these two people have been particularly bashing GMS in particularly. And Vocab Malone is definitely somebody that is in the wrong hand, doing the wrong thing, messing with the Lord's chosen group. And when I say chosen, I mean particularly, I could go back to a story involving myself coming from the gym, sitting in the parking lot, had my sunroof open. It's about 2 years ago. This is when I was technically newer in the truth. which I'm still am learning because things each and every day. But long story short, I was watching a brother from GMS Murder Beach, South Carolina, do his live stream. I believe it was on a Saturday night, and you know, he's just doing this thing on the boardwalk, and I just so happened, you know, something just caught my eye, and I looked up, and I seen a fleet of chariots, like something out of Star Wars. It had to be at least about 40, 50, I would say ancestral spirits, because those are our real ancestrals. So I go to the book of Ezekiel. Those are our real ancestors, if you want to say spiritually, because, you know, when people say ancestral, they talking about, you know, past loved ones and stuff like that. But our ancestrals, which we are the Hebrew Israelites, our ancestrals are what's in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. You know, that's our father, and this is our family. You know, this book, this wisdom and knowledge, and also the brothers that we can learn from and take hold of too. You know, that is our family, because at the end of the day, your spirit is more so important than this physical element. You know, the physical is always going to decay. Whether if you die today or tomorrow, whether the Lord put the spirit on somebody to murder you today or tomorrow, your body's going to decay, but your spirit lives on forever. So what's spiritually is more important than physically. But this is Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel, the first chapter, verse 5, skimming on down, basically describing how the angels look. But just to describe the appearance that I've seen, they sparkle like the color of burnished bronze, and that right there is not even that. That's literally just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to describing how beautiful the family of the chariots and the angels that I seen that night. You know, they just came like a Star Wars preview. They literally came like this out of nowhere, and they just flew over my car. And I would say like my car was like down here, and then of course like the chariots was like up in the sky, pretty high. But they just came over my car, and they were just, when I say fire, I mean literally like you could see a trail of how frequency these angels were. These wasn't just no ordinary fleet of chariots. No, these were the real, the high power angels. And if I wasn't mistaken, I wouldn't say I seen the Ezekiel wheel, but I seen something literally spinning at the top of a circular object. It was something at the top spinning like this while floating with the angels. Now I don't want to say that was Ezekiel's spirit that I seen that night, but it was something that was going in circles while continuing to glide through the night. And this is all while the brother from GMS from South Carolina was preaching. So from that moment forward, I already knew that GMS was already the Lord's chosen group, even before that, because the things that they were breaking down in the spirit that is on these elders and apostles are just out of this world, you know. And some people may think they come as harsh or, you know, annoying, but I mean, these brothers are literally the only group that are breaking down the truth with no problem. You know what I'm saying? And I take notes every day, but I always continue to search for things that I don't know whenever I have the time to. For example, for the Wisdom of Solomon, they was breaking down how most modern people would think that the description of how Solomon was breaking down the word would be, they would think that they would be talking to a female. You know, a lot of people think that the Wisdom of Solomon is talking to a woman, but no, the wisdom is actually being described as beautiful as a woman. You know, for God loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. Verse 29, this is chapter 7. For she is more beautiful than the sun, and above all the order of the stars, being compared with the light, she is found before it. Verse 30, for after this cometh night, but vice shall not prevail against wisdom. So, you know, this wisdom is so beautiful to the Lord. It creates an ointment. It creates a smell that the Lord loves, you know. And when it also said ointment, that kind of reminds me of whenever Moses had to build the tabernacle, and you know they had to create incense, and they have to make ointments that for the sacrifices of the animals that the Lord loved to smell, you know, for sin sacrifices and offerings. You know, the Lord loved to smell things like that. You gotta please him. You know, you're married to the Lord technically, you know. And whenever he's put his spirit on you to spread the wisdom and knowledge, which the elders and apostles do wholeheartedly each and every day, the Lord loves that. And he's going to continue to push the spirit on the elders that are basically just killing it each and every day, which I'm very grateful to stumble upon the elders apostles of Great Millstone. Not just the fact that you can teach that you're black and that you're a Hebrew Israelite, but also just breaking down the mysteries that a lot of Christians can literally knock most Israelites off the boots if you're not prepared. You know what I'm saying? Because Christians will always have a good comeback for you. And if you're not, you know, 10 steps ahead, they can get you. You know what I'm saying? And because they always have a good comeback. But, you know, if you listen to their brothers in UMS, they will always lead you the way to actually understand a certain breakdown, especially when it comes to the book of Genesis. People still think that Eve actually ate an apple, a whole physical apple. No, it was talking about the wisdom, the tree of knowledge, good and evil, you know. And Satan, which is Esau, was spitting that philosophy, that doctrine to her that made the Lord angry. You know, she spread it to Adam, and therefore Eve was punished for falsely spreading doctrine, you know. And it was there, well, oh, why did the Lord set up Eve? Everything goes what the Lord wanted to go, you know. In the book of Malachi, it talks about predestination. Everything was made with what the Lord wanted to do. And who is we to even ask, why did things go this way, or why did this go this way? The only thing we can do is just thank God to wake up every day that we don't have things happen to us, and we don't have no punishment that happens from our past life, to still be able to read and look and see stuff with colors, you know. The Lord loves when you please him and when you try to, even wholeheartedly, you know. And it's also important to just keep your faith in him, because once he sees that even when you're struggling or even when you're going through something, that he know that you have his back, he's going to bless you 10 times more. For example, with the book of Job, Job lost everything. He still gave honor and glory to Yahweh Shema Awashai, and Yahweh Shema Awashai blessed him with much more wealth and things that he could have asked for. Same thing with Moses. Moses didn't know what was going on. That's what the elders said. Each apostle in the book, they didn't know what was actually going on. They couldn't actually break the seals, which is in, just wrote this down. Break the seals, which is well, I just wrote this down. I believe it's in the book of Revelation. Breaking the seals, you know. They didn't know. They didn't know that, but the spirit of Yahweh Shema Awashai has to come upon you to actually understand this book in particular, you know. And that's all I just wanted to say, was that the brothers and apostles from elders from GMS are 100% Lord's chosen group. And if you don't get down with them, you're gonna end up like Nate, like what the apostle says, Revelation the 14th chapter. Then I look, and this is what I saw: the Lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 who had his name and his father's name inscribed on their foreheads. The name is very important, and it's Yahweh Shemi Hawashah. And if you don't say that right during the days of Jacob's trouble, which is already set to come and pass, because Trump is literally making America decline as we speak, and Jacob is not gonna take this shit much longer. Even Jakes that are not even in the truth, They're going to rise up. People are going to start getting robbed, killed, all of that, you know. It's going to come to an end. And therefore, the only thing that us brothers can do is just wait, you know. Luke, the 21st chapter, verse 25, and there will be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars, and the earth with distress of nations. You know, people are going to be cold-hearted, and the Lord is just going to come back like a thief in the night with a cloud, just like how he did in the tabernacle, and he's going to destroy mostly everybody except for the elect, the 144. So all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And brothers, please, if you're thinking about getting out of this truth, don't. We fall down a lot, but the main thing that you can do is just try to stay in this truth and to try to preach as best you can, even if it's a little something. The Lord will very greatly appreciate it of it. Just when you think the Lord is not with you, he is always with you. All praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, putting the spirit on me to make this video about GMS after not posting for like 9 months. And I'm just thanking Yahweh Hashem Yahushua for continuing to put his spirit on me to continue to search and study and read and learn from the elders and apostles who have very great experience. All praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Shalom.